Hello, I am Dr. Brian Connor, and I want to welcome you to NURSU 428 Practicum in Clinical and Management Decision Making. It's my pleasure to be your course lead and faculty member for this course, and we will also have two other faculty in this course, Dr. Elaine Amella and Dr. Jamie Carter. So you will be in groups. Smaller groups, and you may be in my group or Dr. Amella's group or Dr. Carter's group. But it's my pleasure to be able to welcome you to this course and just give you a brief overview of what this course is about. This, first of all, is your capstone course, as it's called, meaning it's really sort of the way to wrap up your RN to BSN education. The first part that I want to tell you about with this course is you have clinical hours in this course that need to be recorded, and that's a total of 90 clinical hours. However, the good news is, you are already RNs. You don't have to do clinicals as our undergraduate students do, where they have to be in the hospital and have preceptors and all that. Your clinical hours are basically the time you will spend on developing a quality improvement project proposal. So I'm going to tell you briefly about that in this welcome introduction video, and then you'll have some other videos. I have found that these videos are a great way for me to communicate with you, since this is an online course, but you get to see me and hear me. Then hopefully we will all connect. Dr. Amella, Dr. Carter, and I will connect with each of you that are in our groups individually to talk about your potential project proposals. So the whole purpose, again, of this brief introductory video is just to tell you that the whole purpose of this course is to help you develop a quality improvement project proposal. When we began this RN to BSN program, we thought we might be able to get you through doing an entire project, but you only have 13 weeks this summer, and I'm sure most of you are ready to graduate, and so we don't expect you to actually do the project. However, we understand some of you may have already begun some processes, be involved with other things going on in your unit. So we're not saying you can't. I mean, if it's something that you think you can get done and you can actually implement during this course, that's fine. It's just not our expectation. Our expectation is for you to develop a project proposal that hopefully you or someone else in your unit or in the unit that you're working with could do. Our goal is always to help you improve patient care, and we want you to learn about that process, but we also would love it if you could help do that. So the whole purpose of this course is just to get you started, or the whole purpose of this introduction is to get you started in thinking about your project proposal, what that might look like, and what are the steps in that process. And I'm going to tell you about those briefly, and then there are other videos. I've found that short, brief videos seem to work very well, and you can take the information in sort of very quickly. So the whole purpose of this introduction is just to sort of tell you about what's coming next. We will tell you about what is due when. We'll tell you about, certainly you have to pay attention to the groups that you have. So the first thing, hopefully the first thing you're doing is watching this video. Then you need to obviously read the syllabus. We just tell you so much that read the syllabus, look at the assignment deadlines, look at the week by week, what are we going to do, so that you have an idea, because we know that you all have other things going on all summer as well during this course, and we just want you to be able to plan appropriately, understand when things are going to be due. If you have things that you're going to be doing or travels you're going to be taking or whatever, you still need to make arrangements to make sure that you can meet the due dates for the assignments. That's first and foremost very important. So before we even talk about the steps in the process of a QI proposal, it's very important that you just pay attention to the syllabus and pay attention to assignment due dates, okay? So that's one of the things that will help you be very successful in this course, and we as the faculty just want to help you do that very much so. Then after that, just pay attention in the introduction week. There is something called, there are announcements, and I typically post, as the course lead, I post announcements. I tend to also email those to you just to make sure that you get the information, but we really appreciate it if you pay attention to when you see announcements, or if I send you emails that are announcements, that you sort of understand what's going on and what do we need to understand about anything that's coming up. So there's announcements. Cybercafe is very important. I'm sure, hopefully, all of you have been involved in Cybercafe over your RN to BSN program so far. But Cybercafe is the place to ask questions that you think other students might also have that kind of question. When you have questions that are more personal, we understand that. If you don't want others to see that, you can always email your group faculty person, which may be me or Dr. Amella, Dr. Carter. I am the course lead, so you can always email me as well, but I prefer, if you're in Dr. Amella or Dr. Carter's group, to email her first. But our preference overall is Cybercafe is a great place to post a general question that others may have that question as well, and we can post the answer and everybody will get that information. So that's the way Cybercafe works. The syllabus is vital for you to read and look at. The group assignments are vital for you to understand what group are you in, and then from this introductory session and what's in the introduction, it's important for you to go on to week 1 because that happens very quickly here in this beginning phase of the course. So we hope you look at this video and then you also look at week 1. Just one more thing then about the introduction section. Anything that's there stays there the entire course. So announcements, Cybercafe, group assignments. I think also in there is the practicum toolkit, and that is really an important thing that we will talk about. But I've posted that in the introduction area because it's there the entire semester. It sort of doesn't go away. You don't have to worry about going back to it and what week was that or whatever. You can always look at the introduction section to sort of figure out, what's going on. And the practicum toolkit has virtually everything you're going to need. Forms, instructions, how to do things. So the practicum toolkit is really vital. So please pay attention to that. Other than that, those are the things that are pretty much involved in the introduction. Then as you get into week 1, we begin to tell you a little bit about this whole process and how things work. And briefly just want to tell you that what I consider is always a good idea is to begin with the end in mind. Think about that. Begin with the end in mind, and to do that, what is it you're going to come out with? What's the end product or products for this course? And there are 2 basically end products for the course. The first one is a project proposal that has been developed through these 13 weeks you're going to endure, where you decide what kind of a QI project needs to be done, what's the data that you have, and we'll talk about how that whole process works, what are the measurements, how are you going to do it, what intervention would you propose, that sort of thing. So it's basically a short paper, but we will give you the format of how that paper looks and using a specific format, and I'll tell you more about that, but the format is gleaned from the Lean Six Sigma factors that have been out there. So this has been something in industry for many years. Lean Six Sigma is a process, basically. I was trying to think of the word, but it's actually a process. And the Lean Six Sigma process, one of the main things they have is this process called DMAIC. DMAIC, and we're going to explain that to you all along the process here. You'll get a QI roadmap, and I'll do a video on that so you'll really understand DMAIC. But briefly here, the D stands for define, the M stands for measure, the A stands for analyze, the I stands for intervention or implementation, and the C is for control. So DMAIC is the acronym that we use, and you'll get much more information about that. But in the long run, you'll do a project proposal, and then you'll also do a poster that you can present. And what we hope is that you present that poster to key stakeholders, people who are possibly going to be involved in this project. You want to get their buy-in, and so you want to present your proposal, and it's easier to do that with a poster than it is with a PowerPoint presentation or with a long paper or anything like that. The poster is a great way to display and to discuss what it is you really want to do. So the bottom line here is you only have 13 weeks in this course, and that's a very quick process. And so we still believe that you can develop excellent project proposals within that time frame using our framework of DMAIC. And also the idea is, hopefully many of you have already begun thinking about this when you were in Dr. Anderson's course for research and evidence-based practice. You hopefully have begun to think about the processes and what might work well for you in your area. So teamwork is vital. You want to have other people involved. You don't have to do this all yourself. You can involve your nurse managers or directors. You can involve educators. You can certainly, we would love for you to involve physicians, residents, educators, all types of other people, physical therapists, respiratory therapists, anyone else you can think of that would be vital to your potential project. This is a team project that you proposal, hopefully you develop. It wouldn't be something, even if you were going to do it, something you could do yourself. It really is important to have a team of people involved in this, because you can have conceptualized the idea of what you think, but then you need feedback from others, particularly what may impact their areas, because often when we come up with QI projects, it's not just about you as a nurse or the nurses, but it's about other people who are involved in the patient care. So that's very important. So otherwise, really, that's pretty much what I want to say to begin with here, just an introduction. You'll get more information in the other videos about the specifics of the DMAIC framework and how that's going to work. The first and foremost thing is for you to read the syllabus, look at the assignment dates and due dates and all, and then pay attention to everything else. We try to make this very succinct for you. There's no textbook for this course, so it's really important for you to pay attention to the videos and to the syllabus and the assignments, and then really the practicum toolkit has everything you're going to need. So hope this has been helpful for you to begin with. We look forward to working with you, and thanks so much for paying attention.